All right, guys, Crypto Kurt here with another crypto update. And today we're going to be looking at Populous PPT tokens and trying to figure out what the heck is a Poken. Because Pokens are going to be part of the process of actually purchasing and investing on this platform. And usually what I like to do is start with the white paper with these things. But funny enough, if we come to the white paper here, and I do a quick control F, let me click back into the paper, and we type in Pokens, guess what? It has found nothing. So the term Poken is not identified or even used in the white paper. Okay, so, well, what do you do next? Okay, so next is I went and found an interview with the guy who's starting the whole thing, Steve Nico Williams. And let's just run this for a minute and see what he says about what is a Poken and how it works.
That we had to overcome was basically the stability in terms of the volatility of actual cryptocurrencies themselves. So there is no way on earth that we could have just used Bitcoin or Ethereum to trade invoices, because in this type of market, the margins are very small in terms of 1% to 5% starting from, and if you're using the swings in cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin are swinging like that.
Sure, but wipe that out in a minute.
Wipe it out. So it was unrealistic that we could have just gone into this with your popular coin and say, yeah, we've got an invoice factoring platform and this is what we're doing, we're trading in crypto. So anyone else who's saying that they're using crypto, they need to have a huge think of when you're loaning items or whatever you're doing financing. I mean, it's not going to happen when the margins, the interest that you're going to be charging against your loan in the real world, it's not going to work really. So what we introduced was a PEG type of system. So we created a PEG token called Pokens. So, I mean, the name is derived from pegged and token, a combination of both. So,
okay, so I think this is going to cause a lot of confusion for a lot of people, especially people that don't have a background in finance. You know, you're going to be purchasing these pay tokens these PPT tokens and wondering what the heck to do with it and how is it going to work on the platform, et cetera, et cetera. So that's why I'm doing this video, because as I said, I think even when you go to the white paper doesn't use the terminology. So let's find out. Let's take a look at what the white paper does say. Okay, so in the white paper, they're talking about the flow of funds. You can go read this yourself, but I am going to read through this just so you can get your head around what they're talking about here. The flow of funds within the platform is realized by the usage of custom, stable, Populous tokens. Okay, now that should be Pokens right there. That's what a Poken is a custom, stable, Populous token. And it's going to be pegged one-to-one with worldwide government currencies. In the beginning, they're launching in the UK, so they're tying the tokens to the Great British Pound, right? All operations inside the platform are done with tokens. No operations inside the platform use or rely on Ether. This abstraction allows us to operate on the Ethereum platform and take advantage of its smart contracts while avoiding direct usage of cryptocurrencies and their volatility. The base currency and the stable token for the platform is Great British Pound. The life of the tokens is split into two parts. All right. So what does all that mean? We can go through this, and basically, you're saying what happens inside the platform and what happens outside the platform. Inside the platform, you're going to basically be using these Pokens to invest in these invoices. And then you're going to get paid back out in Pokens as well. You can take those Pokens offline into a wallet, and just like any other cryptocurrency, you can hold them for as long as you want, or you can leave them in the system, or you can ask the system to take the Poken and pay you out an equivalent amount of currency in the given currency that you want to have pulled out of the system. Okay, so in the beginning, as I understand it, they're only offering Great British Pound. So if you were to pull the money out of your Pokens, you're going to get paid out in pounds, which simply means you're going to have to put it into account. And if you live in the US or Australia or whatever, you just have to do the conversion. Yes, there's going to be cost to those conversions, but ultimately they want to have multiple major currencies available in the platform. Okay. It also talks here, it says you can, within the platform, you're going to be able to move them across Pokens as well. So as an example, if you earn USD tokens and you wanted to get GBP tokens, they're going to have an internal exchange rate as well. Now, does that really help you understand what they are? Probably not really. The issue that he's facing, if you think about it, is that eventually they're going to have multiple businesses. And remember, guys, this is part 2 of an overview of Populous. You're going to need to go back to part 1 and watch part 1 to learn about what invoice factoring is. We're not going to explain that here. I did a whole video about that. Obviously, there'll be a link in the description. But effectively, you're going to have businesses from all over the world coming to this platform, bringing to the platform invoices that are going to get paid out in the currency of the country that they live in. And then you're going to have people like us who are coming into the platform to invest. And many of us are going to be coming into the platform using Bitcoin or using Ethereum or whatever other cryptos that these guys will accept. And understand that these people want to get paid back out. These people who have sold the invoices want to get paid back out in their local currency. And the local currencies don't swing near as much as the value of the cryptos. So that's what Cliff was laughing about, was saying, you could effectively come in and buy an invoice with a crypto and Bitcoin could go up $500 in a day and be worth more than what the invoice is worth, if that makes sense. So as I said, I know for many of you, especially if you don't have a financial background, some of this stuff is kind of hard to get your head around. It's almost like, black magic voodoo stuff. But what the Pokens are going to allow them to do is create a stable platform that has a fairly stable value. So it doesn't matter what you bring into the system, whether you bring in cash or whether you bring in crypto or whether you bring in Bitcoin or whether you bring in Ethereum. It's all going to be exchanged at a flat rate so that you're going to get an even amount of Pokens. All right. Now, again, that's a very wordy explanation. Let's have a look. I found this article on Steemit. Now, it looks as if it's been published by the team from Populous. It's not from the Populous account. It's at Dawood Rams. I'll put the link below in there as well. But basically, the first thing to know is PPT will actually be usable on our platform. Within our smart contracts, you'll notice the PPT, the token, can actually be used to purchase invoices. We'll look at this a little further down. On top of that, investing your PPT back into the platform will essentially become another form of holding the token. You'll still be the owner of said token while also putting it to work. Okay, guys, this is what's so powerful about this platform. You're going to buy these PPT coins. You're going to bring these PPT coins into the platform. You're going to use the value of those to purchase an invoice. Then when you get the money back, you're going to get the money paid back out in Pokens. We're going to look at an example of that in just a second. But then you're going to get your original PPTs back that you can reinvest again and again and again. So that's the power. That's not only the compounding interest and also going to be a massive boom to the actual capital gains of these shares when people get their head around the fact that they can take one of these PPTs, invest it 3 or 4 times a year, get that back, plus get back your payout. Again, the emotions are going to drive the value of this. You can do all of your future present net value calculations on these shares if you want. But again, people are going to be really excited because of the opportunity this presents. All right, so they do have an example. So let's go through this really quickly. Invoice seller lists their invoice on the platform for 10,000 euros. Okay, or sorry, 10,000 pounds. That's a 10,000 pound, but they're willing to give away however much, whatever percentage that is, and they want 9,500 for it. All right. On the system, this will be listed as 9,500 GBP Pokens. Alice invests in the invoice for 9,500 GBP tokens, and she buys 100% of the invoice. Now, as I understand it, I think that you will be able to break the system will allow partial invoices to be purchased, I believe. Once the invoice is settled, Populous receives it and turns the 10,000 pounds and back into their system, right? So in other words, the invoice finally gets paid by the company that is paying the invoice to the seller, and that money comes back into the Populous platform. Populous takes fees. Now this fee, if you give an example, is 10%. So it looks like Populous is going to take 10% of that. And then Alice receives her original PPT back to her wallet along with the 405 GBP tokens. Okay, so that's how it's going to work. So you're going to be buying the PPT to put into the system, and then you're going to generate back out tokens, which are going to have a one-to-one value based on whatever currency that it's based on. And again, everything in the beginning is going to be based on the British pound. So your GBP tokens are exactly that, Great British Pound tokens. I'm assuming once they do the US dollar, it'll be USD tokens. If they do Australian dollar, it'll be AUD tokens. So again, you'll be able to, and as the white paper explains, you'll be able to cross-trade those currencies on the Populous platform as well. All right, guys, I know this is probably going to create a myriad of questions. Maybe this is a Pandora's box that I shouldn't have even opened. But I think it's important if you're gonna invest in PPT and use it as a tool to create passive income, it's going to be important for you to understand what they are, because this is what you're going to get paid out in, right? You get your original PPT tokens back, but you're going to have to understand the tokens because that's what you're getting paid in. And again, just understand that each token is pegged or tied to a specific currency, okay? All right, guys, so once again, hopefully this helps. Hopefully this helps you get your head around why the Populous story is just so powerful and it's just so exciting. You know, I was talking to someone, a mate of mine last night, and I thought he would be one of the people that would totally understand it, and he totally told me to sell everything and get out of this shit. It's never going to work. And there's just so many people out there that just aren't getting it. And you know what? I agree, buying Bitcoin at 4,200 US is probably not the smartest thing to do. But when you look at these opportunities coming down the line to make money using the crypto platform, yeah, sure, buy Bitcoin and get rich. But guys, this is the future of business. This is business on the blockchain. And again, watch my previous video where we talk about the amount of transactions that are happening around the world and what invoice factoring is and how powerful it is and why it's important to businesses around the world. All right, once again, today is the first day of the rest of your life. Get started, take action. There is a link below to go sign up for an exchange. Sign up there and start putting some money into it, getting your head around it. Again, remember, guys, this is not investment advice. This should only be used for educational and entertainment purposes only. All right, guys, Crypto Kurt out.